In this video, we're going to set up some dynamic lighting so that you can apply specific lighting effects in dark areas, whether you want it in a dungeon or if you want to have lighting specifically for at nighttime, you can use this to help you build that. So in this video, we're going to be using a torch as our example, but you can apply this to anything that you want. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to make our torch scene, which can just be a normal node 2D. Going to rename it to be torch though. And in torch, we're going to need an animation player. We're going to need a sprite 2D. We're going to need a point light 2D. And we're going to need a timer. We're going to call this the flicker timer. And right now, that should be all we need to do. In our sprite 2D, I'm going to be using a torch asset that's going to be available in the link in the description. But we can find it in the environment and props folder. Just call it torch. And in the animation, this is going to be 1 vertical and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 horizontal frames. I'm just going to bump this up on the x-axis. And we can go into our animation player and quickly make the default animation where it's going to play on load and it's going to loop. And we're going to have the snap at 0.1. So we can go back to our sprite and just start keying in these frames. And so now when we play it, we have a nice little torch lighting animation. Then we need to go into our point light. And first we're going to bring this up so that it's centered in our torch's light. And we're going to need to make a gradient 2D. So a gradient texture 2D. I'm going to make the width is going to be 64. Oh, that's the offset. I want to click into this, and 64 by 64 I think is good for me. We're going to click into this gradient, and the first color we're going to do is you can have 1, 0.6, 0.2, and 1 is fine. And for the second one, we're going to do 1, 0.6, 0.2, and 0. In the fill, we're going to do radial. And then the fill from is going to be 0.5 to 0.5. And then fill 2 is 0.9 to 0.1. Then we're going to go down to the color here, and we're going to do 1, 0.6, 0.2 at 1. The energy can be 1.2. Shadow, we are going to enable the shadow filter. We're going to put on this one, and filter smooth we can put at 1. Then on the flicker timer, we're going to do 0.05, and we are going to auto start it. Let's save this scene. I'm just going to save this in my world folder, and then we need to attach a script to it. We're going to call this attach it to the torch. And we're going to need 3 on-ready variables. So we need our animation player, our point light 2D, and our flicker timer. We're going to have 2 variables. One is going to be called base energy, which is going to be a float, 1.2. We're going to have a flicker range. It's also going to be a float. I'm going to do 0.2. In the ready method, all we're going to be doing is tapping into our flicker timer. And then on timeout, we're going to connect to on flicker timer timeout. And we're going to do our animation player. We're going to play our default. And then down here, we're going to create this on flicker timeout method. And here we're going to just make a variable called random energy. It's going to be a random f. This needs to be equal. Random f range. And it's going to be from negative flicker range to flicker range. And our point light 2D's energy is going to be equal to our base energy plus random energy. Last thing we need to do is, if you've been following along with my tutorials, we made a day and night scene, and I had made this false. So I need to actually go in and go into my outdoor level script. And I need to make sure that the enable day and night cycle is matched to true. So now we should be able to go back into our example scene, Let's drag a torch in. You can already see the preview. And let's play the scene. So I have it speeding up just so we can get a quick look at how this works. But yeah, pretty easy to set that up, and you could apply this to, caves, or if you want torches, you can do that, but pretty easy to set up some dynamic lighting.